Sometimes we might think, wouldn't it be nice to have a friend who was very powerful, very influential? Maybe to have a friend who's a millionaire, right? Who we could be close to, who we could go and visit. Maybe we wouldn't have to worry so much about what we're eating or about some things that normally are a concern for our money. Maybe for that person, we could help kind of to keep them grounded. Maybe they could share with us some things about what we need to do to be successful and how to improve ourselves, to be more disciplined, all of these things. We might think, wow, that would be awesome, right? It would really be a great help. Now, I don't know if it's good or right to look at God as a millionaire, right? But that's kind of like the relationship that we want to have with God. God is very powerful. He's very influential. He does great things all the time. And we want to be his friend. We want to be his friend so that not just, so we can improve and be better, but not just for selfish reasons, but because there's real goodness in that friendship. In this gospel today, we hear of Jesus casting out demons. The people who see this are surprised. They're amazed that he has power and he has authority. And even the demons respect this. They listen, they hear, and they must obey. In a similar way for us, when we're his friends, when we learn his ways, when we learn his teachings, when we can talk like he does, when we can act like he does, when we can look like him more and more in our faith, we too begin to pick up on some of that power. That's not our power, but it's the power and authority of Christ. I just want to share with you one quick story of this was set in England, and it comes from the son of one of the wealthiest noble families in England. This was in the 16th century, and his name was Philip Howard. He could afford any pleasure he liked, and he had all of them. He enjoyed all kinds of good things and terrible things. In 1581, he went to the Tower of London to hear a debate between several Anglican ministers and a prisoner. This was a time of the persecution of the Catholic Church after Henry VIII had banned it. And so this man, Philip Howard, he goes to hear this debate with these Anglicans who have all their books. They're ready just to destroy this prisoner in a debate on the faith. That prisoner, his name was Father Edmund Campion, and he would later be Saint Edmund Campion. Although the ministers were armed with all their books and lots of assistants, and although Father Campion was alone, and all he had was his memory to go on, yet the debate went so well in his favor that the government, they canceled it early. They stopped it, they turned it off because they couldn't speak more convincingly than Father Edmund Campion. This man, Philip Howard, who hadn't really considered a lot of these things, was amazed by this priest. He was inspired by the words that he said. And after this, he went home, he was reconciled to his wife, and he decided that now would be the time for him and his family to return to the Catholic faith and to take it more seriously. They then decided, because of the persecutions, that they would try to escape England to go to the continent, to the mainland, so that they could freely live out their new Catholic faith. However, as they were trying to escape, this Philip Howard was captured. He was stopped, he was imprisoned in the Tower of London, and there he was left for 10 years before he died. What's amazing in this story is not just like the genius of Father Edmund Campion. I don't know if he was a genius, but it was the words that he spoke that weren't his own words. They were the words of Christ. It was the power and the authority with which he spoke that surprised, inspired Philip Howard, and it was his friendship with Christ. And so for us as well, right? That's what we got. That's the most important thing in our lives, is our friendship with Christ. That's where we receive real power and authority and the ability to do great things. Today, let's try to do that, right? Let's try to inspire, to be reminded of the presence of Christ, and to share whatever